we see more and more sellers who are trying to default under their contract to sell. I mean, they've changed their mind. They no longer want to sell the property. They want to back out of the contract. And we're a medium-sized law firm here in the Orlando area, so we kind of got our finger on the pulse of things going on. And so now we've seen this happening more and more, where sellers are simply throwing up their hands and say, hey, guess what? I've changed my mind. I don't want to sell my property anymore. Well, it's pretty easy for you and me to guess why they don't want to sell it.
Because they have a better offer.
No doubt about it. So, what we say to people is, from a buyer, well, first of all, we need to see that contract. We want to make sure from a buyer's perspective that all the T's have been crossed and the I's have been dotted. Everything looks perfect. And then the buyer in that situation does have a great remedy. That great remedy is provided right there within the FAR contract, and is a suit for specific performance, wherein the court will order that the seller sell the property to the buyer, and the court will order that the seller pay the buyer's attorney's fees.
That's a great provision.
It's a great provision. So you may say, hey, based on that, why would a seller even try and attempt this? Because realistically, occasionally the seller does get away with it. Why? Because the buyer is saying, yeah, Attorney Tom Olsen told me I'm right, 100% guaranteed, no ifs, ands, and buts, but I'm not waiting around for a year to let this thing go to court and get a court order. I'm busy. I need to buy something now.
That's the issue.
The seller's absolutely wrong, but I based on taking a year or more to get it through court, I got to move on and find another house.
The problem is the time aspect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So people, they often... they watch TV shows about court actions and they seem like they happen within 24 hours. But, man, these days, I mean, it's always been a slow process, but things are even slower with COVID.
Exactly. And so where you're right that the buyer has a legal remedy, and that legal remedy is well established.
Yeah.
But the problem is the legal remedy will take time, and often in many situations, I know not all, but what you're saying is the buyers don't have the luxury of time.
Exactly. So if we were representing a seller and they said, Tom, I'm going to try this strategy. I don't have a legal basis to get out of this contract, but I'm going to do it and see what happens. Well, I'd say, okay, fine. Tell the buyers you're not selling. Tell the buyers you've changed your mind. If we can always reevaluate. If we hear from the buyer's attorney threatening to sue for a suit for partition, we'll throw up our hands and say, okay, we'll sell. But then again, buyers might just say, okay, we're moving on to the next house. So it can be a legitimate strategy.